Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles. The Chicago Bears defend the Papa Bear. They avoid being the team that Belichick beats to pass up Papa Bear George Halas in career head coaching wins. They're still tied at 324. I think that's special. It was really cool to have that type of NFL history on the line. And I'm sure, yes, Belichick is obviously going to pass up Halas. But when Bill Belichick does get win number 325 to move to sole second place behind Don Shula, it won't be against the Bears. Win 325 won't be against the George Halas Papa Bear Bears. Not today, Belichick. Pretty cool. The Bears defend him. It was just cool to be thinking about George Halas today. I read the book, The NFL 100. I highly recommend it. That's what it's called. And George Halas is just, he's one of the key integral figures of the NFL. He's a founder of the league as one of its original star players. He owned the Chicago Bears for 63 years before he died. Belichick going for win 325. George Halas had 324 wins. George Halas's first 10 wins were 102 years ago in the original NFL season. That's amazing. It's not very often you're just doing something on a Monday night and it's connected at all to anything 100 years ago. Amazing. Halas, he won the 1921 NFL championship as a player / coach. And as a coach in 1933, that's the middle of the Great Depression. Bears won it in 40 and 41, pre-World War II. That's, right before Pearl Harbor, 1946. They won it, and then his last championship that George Papa Bear Halas won was 1963. That was a month after JFK was killed. Just amazing. There's 40 years between those championships, 21 and 63. And then he kept going. Halas was the owner of the Bears from 63 till he died in 83. He hired Mike Ditka. He hired Buddy Ryan, who won the 1985 Super Bowl 2 years after his death. While they won that Super Bowl, they had GSH on their sleeves, George Halas's initials. And they've had the GSH on their uniform sleeves since 1984. They've just kept it going. It's just amazing. It's cool. I just like being connected to this NFL history. Truly a titan of the NFL and deserving of this type of remembrance. They had GSH on their sleeves tonight. The Bears did. Justin Fields, David Montgomery, Roquan Smith. So, and Bill Belichick respects this type of crap. He's a regular listener of the Mukilteo Football Show, all about NFL history. So this is no shot at Bill Belichick. He's into this. He wanted to beat the Bears to pass Halas. And when Bill Belichick does do this, we will have history perspectives on him and his accomplishments throughout his amazing career. I'm just going to keep talking about George Halas because I want to, because it's my show. The broadcast, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, they talked about George Halas, the player, the young man George Halas, and they had pictures of him in the great navy blue or whatever as a player. He was a hell of an athlete, apparently. I thought that was cool. They talked about him winning MVP of the 1919 Rose Bowl. Every New Year's Day, you're sitting there, you're hungover, you're watching the Rose Bowl, and they're showing all these pictures, and they're like, welcome to the 108th Rose Bowl. George Halas was the MVP of the 5th Rose Bowl. And, another fun fact from the Baseball 100, or the Football 100, I think, he played baseball too. He played 12 games as a New York Yankee. Yeah, sure, only 12 games. In 1919, he was playing 12 games as a New York Yankee in right field. Do you know what happened in right field for the Yankees after that? After George Halas was gone, another guy came in to play right field, and his name was Babe Ruth. Pretty cool. And all of that ethereal spirit of George Halas's legacy and his dent on Chicago, the city, and the NFL was all fused into Justin Fields today, who had his best game as an NFL quarterback. From timing routes to his instincts on that screen pass touchdown where he kind of held onto it as long as he could and finally got it out on the right timing. His scrambling, was good today. A lot of his runs were designed runs. They were really cool. Rollouts, bootlegs, what Bears fans have been calling for. It's all here. And there were moments where Justin Fields, he didn't even get to 200 yards passing, where he's looked like he's looked all year. He's getting immediate pressure. He's holding onto the ball. But today represented hope for the Bears and Justin Fields. I think that's pretty cool. But, okay, we're 6 minutes in. The Bears defense, wow. What a game from them, building on the Commanders game, Thursday Night Football, where we were all making jokes about Thursday Night Football. Well, now the Bears have put together a couple of good ones. Together. Roquan Smith, who had the hold in. Eddie Jackson, safety, second-round safety. Jaquan Brisker, who's a rookie. He controlled this game at points. The Bears' defense they stifled Mac Jones for 3 drives, and then they had a little zappy hour where they got hit a little bit, but then they shut him down too. It was impressive by the Bears defense. That should be the headline. Of course, Papa Bear Halas and the Bill Belichick thing is the main headline. And the other headline, the sub-headline, isn't even the Bears defense. It's the Patriots quarterback situation. We can take a minute on that here. Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, who's going to start next week? We won't know, surely, because Bill Belichick's, running the freaking NASA operation, Central Intelligence Agency. So Mac Jones starts the game after having been out for 2 games. He has 2 bad drives, and then on the 3rd drive, he throws a horrible interception. They're down 0-10. Obama's leaving the Manning cast. And supposedly this was part of the plan, but then Mac Jones is benched. And if it was part of the plan, presumably it was part of the plan because of Mac Jones's ankle. He was running pretty well. I don't think it was the high ankle sprain that got him pulled. Bailey Zappi goes in. The number 4 jerseys in the crowd are shown. Like, people wore Bailey Zappi jerseys to this game where Mac Jones was starting. And the Patriot crowd and they're just growing so loud for Zappi. The first completion by Zappi, the 4-yard check down, the crowd was roaring. They were absolutely pumped. Honestly, too pumped. This is clearly a repudiation of Mac Jones. Just a little like, we've had to wait too long. This isn't working. We know what it takes to have an 18-year dynasty. The Patriots fans are the worst. And Zappi did what Mac Jones couldn't do, which is have a wide open blown coverage. And Zappi, this is the ugliest touchdown throw of the year. He absolutely whiffed on that throw to a wide open Jacoby Myers. And Myers makes what is, I think, one of the most insane adjustments to a ball in air that we've seen this season so far. And then he rolls into the end zone barely. Nobody cares. Mac Jones interception, Bailey Zappi touchdown, Bailey Zappi's great. And the internet's talking about Bledsoe, Mac Jones is Bledsoe, Zappi is Brady. The internet's posting all of Bailey Zappi's college stats. How did we let the Patriots get the guy who threw 60 touchdowns at Western Kentucky? It was pretty crazy. And then the next drive, Zappi gets in, also scores a touchdown, which did have one of his really only good throw of the night, but it was a good throw, the sideline 40-yarder to Devontae Parker. I'll shout out Mac Jones giving a high five to Zappi after his touchdown. That's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen him do. I always tell people at work, when you don't get that promotion, one of the most impressive things you can do is take that with stride. And Mac Jones is just not pouting there. Troy Aikman called it out too. I have less fear for Mac Jones as an NFL quarterback. That showed me something. So Zappe, they get those 2 touchdowns, the one he threw to Jacoby Myers, and then Ramondre Stevenson runs one in after Zappe's long completion to Parker. The Pats are suddenly up 14-10. Zappe mania has begun, and then they lose 14-33 because Zappe did absolutely nothing the rest of the night. And Patriots fans, I vote, personally, we give him a monkey paw moment here. The way they treated Zappe coming to that game, the thrill, the wearing the Zappe jerseys to the game, this is disrespect to Mac Jones. They cheered Zappe like he was Joe Montana coming in for like Elvis Gerback or something. Mac Jones didn't deserve that, and the Patriots fans do deserve 4 years of Bailey Zappe. See how you feel about the Western Kentucky 6th round pick or 4th round pick. You think it's so easy. You think every late round pick is a Tom Brady. Get your monkey paw moment, Patriots fans. I absolutely love Monday Night Football. Beating up on Patriots fans. Bears powered by the Papa Bear. Defending one of the NFL founders. Great Monday Night Football. All right. Mukilteo Football Show. Show us football everything. NFL history, legacy, within the ups and downs of a season. Follow us at MUK_football on Twitter or YouTube. Subscribe, share, review on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. We have shows Monday after Monday Night Football, Thursday after Thursday Night Football, and Sunday after Sunday Night Football. And now that Week 7 is officially in the books, let's talk some winners and losers. Reminder to check out the Sunday show where I reviewed Sunday Night Football between the Dolphins and the Steelers, and we, gave out some Sunday Best awards. Go check that out. The Monotony and Death Award, the Unimportant Kevin Dyson Award. Go check those out. All right, let's get to the winners of Week 7. Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, and Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. I get parody. I enjoy parody. I love Red Zone. I love betting. But wasn't it nice to just see the Chiefs, Bengals, and Cowboys thump their opponents like they were supposed to? Some things make sense. The Chiefs beat the 49ers. The 49ers actually took the lead, but Andy Reid put Nick Bosa in a literal blender. Like, Nick Bosa might not even want to play football anymore. And MVS and Juju at the big games. This was all a fever dream of the offseason Chiefs fans. This is exactly what they wanted out of those players. So, and Mahomes is crushing it. Just the highly efficient offense. And then the Cowboys, they got it done. They shut down the Lions as they were supposed to do. They shut down Jared Goff as they were supposed to do. Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, they just dominated. And the Lions have a good O-line. They have a bad quarterback, but they have a good O-line, I think. And Dak is back, and this was a perfect game for him to get back, too. He struggled a little bit, but the run game imposed its will. Dallas did what it's supposed to do. And then the Bengals, they did it. I didn't think they were, but Zach Taylor did indeed make that shotgun passing switch that I suggested he might not do. I was wrong. He did it. They opened up the game. They said, oh yeah, we have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Rashad Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, and they're all eating. Burrow with 481 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the most yards of the season. That's the 34th most passing yards in NFL history. So Burrow, if no one tops that this year, which is very possible, like I said, 34th most passing in NFL history. If nobody tops that, then Burrow will have 2 seasons in a row with the top passing yard game, both of them historic. 525-yard game against Baltimore in 2021. Wasn't it just nice? Wasn't it just nice to have some games that made sense? Yesterday I talked mostly about the Panthers upsetting the Buccaneers. This was nice. All right, let's get to a couple of losers. Well, the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, and more specifically, probably Jimmy Garoppolo. This was a disappointing Week 7. The defense is banged up, though not as banged up as they were last week. And the offense just couldn't do anything. And I get it. It's like maybe I don't get it, actually. The 49ers offense has Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. 3 of the top 20 players in the NFL, in my opinion. Now they have Christian McCaffrey, who's certainly up there too, though not integrated into the offense yet, so I'm not gonna put him in this particular conversation. But Jimmy Garoppolo, no excuses. He is the negative on this team. He continues to be, I'm most critical of Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe it's a Seahawks fan in me, or maybe it's just me watching him. And the dichotomy that happens when he gets a win because Deebo runs for 56 yards on like an almost pick 6, and Garoppolo gets credit for the stats. He's horrible. He can execute what Daddy Shanahan told him to do, and that's his real appeal. His real appeal is that he will do exactly what the coach told him to do, and when the coach can scheme through a game, that's successful. But you don't win the Super Bowl that way. Maybe you get to the Super Bowl. Sure, they got there in 2019. But like Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo just blacks out during the play. I mean, look no further than the 2 safeties that he's sustained this year. One, he runs out of the back of the end zone. And the one yesterday, where he evades right because Frank Clark has beaten his man, which I believe was Trent Williams, actually. And then Garoppolo just stops. He forgot why he was running right. He blacks out. He doesn't see the field. And my hot take the whole of the playoffs and last year, the 49ers have a Super Bowl ring last year if it's someone besides Garoppolo coaching. And I put a lot of quarterbacks above Garoppolo in this situation. If they have Cousins, they absolutely have a Super Bowl ring right now. If they have Tannehill, they absolutely have a Super Bowl ring right now. So, not happy with Jimmy Garoppolo. Or maybe I am happy because I don't know. It's just saying there's so many excuses made for him. He's got an elite roster. Sorry, 49ers fans. All right, let's talk about the Colts here. Let's get to the second loser of the day. And then we shall go to bed. The Colts lose to the Titans. Matt Ryan is benched. Frank Reich, the coach, actually went so far as to clarify this is not a benching due to injury. This is because Matt Ryan sucks, and they believe his arm is dead. And I did say the Colts would win this week. I said they would beat the Titans in week 7. I'm an idiot. But I'd also like to brag that in my Colts preview in August, I said Matt Ryan is too old. He has fallen off a cliff, and we are missing it because of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I said that, and that's why I took the Colts under. You can go listen to that episode. I don't know why you would, except for to prove me right or wrong, in which this case it will prove me right. Matt Ryan is too old. He's done, and this is the right move. Sam Erlinger comes in, 6th-round rookie out of Texas. You know, I watched a few games with him at Texas. He's kind of a Jacoby Brissett type. They were always calling him a linebacker at quarterback. You know, he takes the hits, got a lot of grit. I don't know how that goes for the NFL. But, I mean, okay, Matt Ryan benched, Sam Erlinger in. This is a tank job, right? That's what the Colts do. Like they went for Peyton in 98, like they went for Luck in 2012. They will end up with CJ Stroud or Bryce Young next year somehow. Maybe they don't tank fully to the bottom, but they'll be at the bottom enough to trade in and get one of those guys. And this is kind of the end of an era for the Colts, these last 4 years post Andrew Luck retirement. You know, they had this good roster designed for Andrew Luck's prime, and he retired, and they had Jacoby Brissett in 2019, Rivers in 2020, Wentz in 2021, Ryan this year. It's been up and down, all the stuff, but that roster is finally breaking down. And, you know, I see people on the internet, you know, oh, it's been 4 years. You can't use Andrew Luck's retirement as an excuse. Like, it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it is reasonable and interesting to think about that Andrew Luck would have been in his prime these last 4 years of Colts rosters, 2019 to this year. And that because of a retirement that nobody expected, he wasn't. And now we've seen those seasons play out, seen them struggle like every other team to just get good quality quarterback play. They would have had luck during this time. It's just interesting to think what it would have been like. All right. Well, I will see everybody on Thursday where we'll preview week 8. Good night.